guys, what is up? It is Matty Q and welcome back to the channel. Before we jump into the video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Also hit that bell notification because then you can notify whenever I post a new video. Also comment down below with what you think my next tattoo is going to be and where you think it's going to be. But as you guys can tell by the video, we're going to be talking about the time I was in a wheelchair at an anime convention and how I hate everyone at conventions after this experience. So first off, I guess I'll talk about how I got in a wheelchair. So I was actually in crutches, but for the convention it was easier and more comfortable for me to be in a wheelchair, but we'll get to that in a bit. So we were out doing some yard work and there was like a pothole in the ground covered by grass, and so I didn't see it. And my clumsy self managed to step in it, and I fell, and my ankle, like, I guess, like, it went meh, or like, it went the direction it was supposed to, but it went very hard, and this was before I started losing weight, and so all my weight went on it, and I thought my ankle was broken because I could not stand on it. I was in a lot of pain, I almost blacked out, and it was excessively swollen and a little discolored. And so we went to the ER, and it turns out that I had only got a very, very bad sprain on it. And this is also right before I was supposed to stage manage for an anime convention, so that was an experience. I was supposed to be stage managing for FanimeCon 2017, I think it was 2017. Yeah, it was Fanime of 2017. Well, and so I was still supposed to, and I was going to, and then it didn't end up working out properly because I was injured, and it was a whole situation. But that's not really what this is about. Okay, but that is basically, and then so when we went to ER, we found out that I had sprained it really badly, and so I got one of those boot things. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, this is like the boots. This is really dirty. You can't really tell if the outside's really dirty. So basically it just goes like this, and it goes on my foot. I'm not putting it on. Don't want to remember it. But this is what I had on my left ankle. It was on this bad boy. This bad boy. Also, I have really nice legs. And so being in a convention, so we rented a wheelchair for the convention because it was just going to be easier for me, because I was just like, I'm not going to be able to walk around with crutches at a convention for an hour or even 10 minutes without having to sit down, because it's exhausting, especially because I was much, much heavier at that point. Walking in crutches when you're not excessively overweight, or overweight in general, is already tiring, but when you're overweight and trying to walk in crutches, it's not a fun time at all. But yeah, and so walking around in crutches sucked. I hated it. I was miserable. This was I think before the convention if I remember properly, but in order to take a shower, I had to jump in and out of the shower because we had a walk-in shower, so I should have probably used that instead of our bathtub shower combo thing we have. But one day I was coming out of the shower. One day I was coming out of the shower and I fell coming out. And this is something I still tear about when I fall. For those of you guys who are new to the channel, y'all know, or if you guys are new to the channel, I don't cry really. I have a very hard time crying. I don't know why. I just don't really cry ever. Tear ducts are kind of right up. I randomly do get teary-eyed, but you know, that's a thing. I just remember I laid on the floor for probably a good 5 minutes because I was just in pain because I just fell on the ground. My ankle's hurting. I'm in pain on my body because of how I fell. I think my mother or something came up, or Mouse's mom, who's like basically my mother, came up and was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And then I just like laid on the floor crying, because like silently crying, because I was just like, I felt so devastated. Like, I have issues. I can't really fully support myself right now financially, which is fine. I'm going to school. Theater doesn't pay well, and I don't spend money well normally. Like, I spend like $1,200 on my new tattoo, my newest tattoo. But I also am buying stuff for the stream, but that's not the point. But I'm very big on feeling as independent as I can, given my living situation and everything like that. But I felt so defeated. Like, I couldn't really do things. Like, I had to have people bring me food if I needed more water, if I needed a drink in general. I had to have someone bring me things. Like, I couldn't do anything myself because I was in crutches. And so I was already devastated because I don't like asking for help. like at all. And so this was like a very hard point for me in my life, having a messed up ankle and not being able to walk around and do things myself. And it was just really, really difficult. And I was stage managing, or assistant stage managing for a show at the time too, and we had to bring someone else in because I couldn't do my job properly and couldn't help with set changes. And so it was an entire experience. And I remember almost actually we had to go see, we had a designer run, and I almost fell down the stairs going down them, so that was also fun. And this was one of the lowest parts of my life. And I've had some low points mentally and stuff too, but like being physically disabled like that and not being able to do things for myself, or at least not easily, I was just a mess. I was so upset. I was emotionally unstable. My depression was so bad at that point, just because I was like, I'm so used to being able to do things myself. Like I can drive myself, I can walk places, I can do things myself without help. But at this point I was like, I can't do anything by myself. I need help with everything. And I was so miserable. And honestly, my ankle I don't think completely healed properly because I started walking on it I think before I should have. But I got approved by, I was told I shouldn't be pushing myself, and I probably still should have used crutches or some type of walking aid. But I got like a compression thing to wear so I could take the boot off when I went to go for a checkup after like 2 weeks or so. And I probably should have kept the boot on longer, but I was just like, I'm done. I can't. I need to be able to do things myself. The boot is preventing me from doing it. Even if like I was walking around with it on still, it was just, it was a very low point for me. But now let's talk about the convention, which was the main point of this. Which was the main point of this vlog. Which was the main point of this vlog this week. Wow, hi. So at the convention, I was in a wheelchair. We rented a wheelchair for the convention. Because trying to walk around like that for that many hours would have just taken way too long. And sorry, I end up on tangents a lot. Normally I don't in the vlogs, but it happens. So I'm going to say right now, it's like kind of went off on a tangent, but something related to the story. But yeah, and so at the convention, we were in a wheelchair, and any of y'all who go to anime conventions and you guys are watching this, you need to be more courteous. I almost had a panic attack every day at this convention because no one's aware of people. They don't pay attention. I was in a wheelchair, and the amount of people that ran into my wheelchair / almost fell over my wheelchair was ridiculous. Like, no one's paying attention. Like, normally in cons people would just like squeeze through and cut people off and everything, which is like it's fine, fine, it's a convention, but I'm like, you can't move well in a wheelchair. You can't. Like, people just weren't aware. They were trying to walk over me, they were running into me, people were falling over me. I get claustrophobic, especially. And as someone who's really tall, I don't normally have the problem walking in crowds of feeling very claustrophobic because I'm normally taller than everyone around me, so my head is normally above the rest of the crowd. I was in like waist height with a lot of people, or like maybe not a little bit like higher than waist height, but like I had to wave. I was in an ocean of people basically, and my anxiety, I was feeling so claustrophobic. I was having issues breathing. I was a hot mess. It was not a good experience for me. Especially, it was just like, people are just so rude and not courteous. Like, some people apologize, but it's still just like, I'm like, Mouse's dad, who's like my father, he had to aggressively start pushing me because people weren't moving out of the way and making space. And so we're just like yelling the whole time, like, please move, get out of the way, watch out. No one was paying attention. Like, I don't know what is wrong with people there. In general though, like, I can't say what it's like being in a wheelchair in a normal public setting, but like, people at an anime convention are just rude. They don't pay attention. Like, you need to look around for your surroundings and be courteous to people who are disabled. I'm in a wheelchair. What do you want from me? I can't move out of the way easily, or in general myself, because like, you know, your boy is in a wheelchair. Wheelchairs don't move easily. Like I said, this was one of the worst experiences in my life, was being in a wheelchair. And I'm gonna try my best to just not let it happen again, because I hated it. Like, I just don't get what's wrong with some people, you know? Like, pay attention. Be aware of your surroundings. Like, people at an anime convention really need to be more courteous and nice. Like, y'all are rude. And you guys are so rude. Like, if you need to pay attention and look around. Like, people get so tunnel visioned. I never realized how bad tunnel vision people have at anime conventions until like I was in a wheelchair in one and getting people running into me / falling over me. A few people, I think one person might have fallen on my lap if I remember correctly, or got really close to it. And like I saw some people who try to get an attitude and then they notice I was in a wheelchair and I'm like, sorry, like you should be paying attention, get out of my way please. So, you know, I'm just happy I got past. That was like 2 years ago now actually, that's weird. I've been out of a wheelchair for like 2 years. That's such a weird thought, honestly. Honestly, I'm just lucky that I didn't get a cast and I didn't break it. I'm very grateful for that, because if I would have broke it, I do not know how I would have survived mentally for the healing process if I was in a cast, honestly. So I'm just extremely happy and grateful that I just sprained it really bad, honestly. So, you know, TT or something. Anyways guys, that's all I have for this video for this week. If you guys did enjoy this video, leave a like on it. Anyways guys, that is all I have for this video this week. That's my story about how I sprained my ankle really badly / my little trip about the anime convention, which honestly, even though the title is going to be based off of that, was not that long of a story. It was just a mini rant. Also guys, comment down below, let me know what your thoughts are on this and how you think people could improve, like, just with being generally. And comment down below, let me know how you think people can improve with just being common, or having common courtesy. Because, especially at anime conventions, which is like always really tightly packed, because I just can't stand, I'm mad. I never want to go back to anime after that. I really don't, but you know, TT. Also subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification, because then you get notified whenever I post a new video. And we're also really close to 200 subs, so if you could please hit that subscribe button if you made it to the end, I would really appreciate it. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys!